kid that does belong to it's a bum in my book. Now you get off my property and don't come back, you hear me? Anything happens, Pinky can take care of himself. He'll be okay. Now you guys leave him alone.
He's right. "3:15 p.m. Frank and I drove over to Pinky Ager's school again. We spent the next 2 hours talking to the youngsters in the neighborhood. Those that would cooperate with us didn't have the information that we needed. The others refused to tell us anything. In the meantime, officers from 77th Street Division were checking on the activities of the Orchid Gang. They ran into the same evasive answers that we had. If the information we'd gotten was true, we had a little more than 48 hours to find the principals in the war before the shooting could start. Thursday night, 8:40 p.m. Frank and I met with Captain John Powers, Lieutenant Hartgrove, and the heads of the juvenile details throughout the city. From them, we learned that word of the impending war had spread through the gangs in the separate districts, and that the other gangs were taking sides in the argument and were ready to start their own battles with factions who opposed them. Captain Powers, along with the heads of the divisions, mapped a plan of action to be put into effect at the first sign of an outbreak. Additional cars from Metropolitan Division reserves were to be ready if they were needed. Days off for all juvenile officers were canceled. A three-way radio contact would be kept open between all divisions on Saturday night. The area where the main activity was expected would be heavily patrolled, both by beatmen and by radio car officers. Once the operating plan was set up, there was little to do but wait. In the meantime, the search went on for members of the Orchid Gang and for Pinky Agers, the leader of the Pink Rats. A watch had been placed on his home, but he failed to return. Friday, September 6th, 9:42 p.m. Frank and I checked with the burglary division on stolen guns. Then we went over to the New Yorker restaurant to get something to eat. Hi, Sal.
Hey, Joe, call your office. I just called you.
Yeah, thanks. Order the fish and chips, will you, Frank?
Sure.
How's it going, Sal?
Not bad. With you?
Kind of rough. Where's Rosie?
Her and the kids went to movies.
"2568, please." Yeah, George Jude. Right. Lieutenant, this is Friday.
Landing permission granted. Proceed
When did it
to
happen?
landing pad 40.
Well, wait till I get a pencil. Sal, hand me that menu, will you?
Yeah. Here you are.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Well, what do you want us to do? Yeah. They know yet? Yeah, all right. I'll get right over there. Bye. Never mind the food, Sal.
What's the matter?
Kids didn't wait until Saturday. They just shot up Highland Park.
What's the score?
Still coming in. Good start.
Yeah.
11-year-old boy killed.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
It's taking place at your dealers, cigarette dealers coast to coast. Smokers by the thousands are now changing to Chesterfield. Join them today, and you'll be smoking the only cigarette that gives you proof of low nicotine, highest quality. I want you to know that's a matter of record. And so's this. As I've been telling you, Chesterfield is the only cigarette with this proven record with smokers. No adverse effects to the nose, throat, and sinuses from smoking Chesterfields. Good reasons why you should change to Chesterfield? You bet. Ask for Chesterfield, regular or king size, best for you.
The first victim of the juvenile gang war was 11-year-old Tony Herman. The teenagers next door to the Herman house were having a party. At 9:36 p.m. Friday night, a group of youngsters had arrived at the house and tried to crash the party. A fistfight had ensued, and Tony, who was doing his homework next door, had gone out to see what was causing the disturbance. As he stood on the porch watching the fighting, a 12-gauge shotgun had been fired. The pellets from the cartridge had caught the youngster in the stomach and the abdomen, and he'd gone down. At the sound of the shot, the fighting had stopped, and the party crashers had left the scene. The police had been called, and Tony was removed to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. He was dead on arrival. From the neighbors, descriptions of the party crashers had been obtained. All of the boys wore satin jackets with a large white orchid embroidered on the back. One of the people who saw the shooting said that the boy who'd fired the gun wore a jacket with the name Gene under the orchid design. A broadcast was gotten out immediately, along with a description of the car that the juveniles had used to escape. The parents of the Herman boy were not at home when the shooting occurred. From the neighbors, we found that they usually went to a movie on Friday night and they didn't return until after midnight. An officer was stationed at the house to bring them to the hospital on return. At 1:34 a.m., Mrs. Herman arrived at the hospital. She was a small, dark woman with graying hair. She didn't know what had happened. Frank and I met her in the hallway.
I want to see Sergeant Friday. Is he here?
I'm Sergeant Friday.
Well, I'm Mrs. Herman. They say something's happened to Tony.
Yes, ma'am. You want to step in here? Might be a little better to talk.
All right. Can I see him? He isn't hurt bad, is he? It's that bicycle. I told his father I knew it was too soon for it. He's so little, and to buy him a big bike like that, where he couldn't hardly reach the pedals. But that's it, isn't it? He fell off the bicycle.
No, ma'am.
What is it, then? What is it? Something more? He's hurt. I want to see him.
Just a minute, Miss Herman.
Why won't you tell me what happened to him? My husband will be here in a few minutes, and he's going to want to know. Why won't you tell me? How bad's he hurt?
Pretty bad, man.
That's not an answer. How bad's he hurt?
He's dead.
Dead?
We get you anything?
My boy's dead? Tony? What? But he'd fallen off the bicycle. He got it for his birthday, a new bicycle, 28-inch wheels. I thought he'd fallen. I didn't know it was like this. Can I see him, my boy? Can I?
Yes, ma'am.
How did it happen? How?
Sorry about it, Miss Herman.
My Tony had an accident, and he's dead. He went to a movie, and we come home to find our son's dead.
Better get the doctor, Frank.
Right.
Doctor will be here in a minute, Miss Herman.
Just a movie. He's doing his homework. Now he's dead. How did it happen, Mr. Friday?
The gun went off. He was standing on the porch. He was hit.
But who was shooting? Who shot my boy? Who killed him?
We don't know, Miss Herman.
I want to know who it was who killed him. I want to know. His father's going to want to know. My boy's dead. My boy, my son.
You want to handle this, Doc? We'll wait outside.
Surely.
Kind of hard to do.
You're gonna make up for it.
Huh?
The kid that fired the gun?
Yeah.
I got him downstairs.
A few minutes after the broadcast had gone out on the boy wearing the jacket with the name Gene on it, two officers on York Boulevard had picked up the speeding car. In shaking down the occupants and the car itself, they'd found the jacket hidden under the rear seat. In the trunk of the automobile, they'd found the stolen rifles and the shotgun with one discharged cartridge in it. The three boys in the car had been taken into custody and brought immediately to Georgia Street. Two of the youngsters had been taken to the detention cells, and the third, who identified himself as Gene Graff, was brought to the office of the night watch commander. From the identification found in his pockets, we learned his name, address, and his age, 16 years old. His parents were notified that he was being held, and they were asked to